Hello, here we are once again. I'm Julie D with Jabbering with Julie, and it's story time. I decided to write a story with the help of Claude, my AI assistant. Actually, I had written a story a couple years ago, and it was pretty popular on our website. We had a newspaper at the time too. So I thought I would go at it again with a different story this time. And every week I'll put a chapter out and, I'll promote it on social media. So make sure you follow me wherever you're seeing this so you don't miss a chapter. But this is going to be a different thing than last time. Basically, at the end of the chapter, on these videos anyway, you'll be able to decide which way the story goes. So, and I'll let you know at the end of the story how to interact with this so we can pick what chapter we do next week. So I'm not going to do two different versions of the story. Like there's going to be a choice. I'm going to listen to what social media says, and the next chapter will be based on that path in the story. So that's how we're going to do it. It's going to be a little difficult today because I have a cold. So bear with me. Chapter 1, Morning Light. I'm sorry, I'm just so nervous and excited. I hope you like it. Dawn painted the island in watercolor hues of pink and gold. Ali Blacksmith spun through the wildflower field, her dark curls flying wild in the morning breeze. Tall grass swished against her jeans as she twirled, arms outstretched like a dancer. Actually, I kind of envision like Julie Andrews from A Sound of Music, if you know the opening. Behind her, the lighthouse stood sentinel against the pale sky, its beacon finally at rest after another night of vigil. "Come on, Muffin," she called. The golden retriever bounded through the dewdrops, sending sparkles into the air with each leap. This was their morning ritual, a dance with the sunrise before Allie's daily lighthouse check. The island was still sleeping, except for the rabbits that watched from their hutch near the house's wraparound porch. The lighthouse beam might be automated now, but Allie took pride in being its keeper, just like the blacksmiths before her. Even with Dad working off-island these days, someone had to. Muffin stopped mid-bound. The dog's ears pricked forward, nose pointed toward the tree line where the ancient oaks marked the edge of the wildflower meadow. Allie followed her gaze, the smile fading from her face. Something moved between the trees, not the usual dance of branches in the wind, but a shadow that seemed too solid, too purposeful. It slid from one trunk to another, then vanished. Muffin let out a low growl. In 18 years of island life, she knew every resident by name, every corner of this place, every shadow, every sound. The last ferry had docked at 5 p.m. yesterday. She'd watched it from the lighthouse gallery as usual. No unscheduled boats had come in the night. The automated warning system would have alerted her, but that shadow, that was something new. "Hey," she called out, her voice carrying across the quiet field. No response came from the tree line, just the morning birds and the distant whisper of waves. Muffin took another step toward the trees, then looked back at Allie waiting. The morning chill suddenly felt sharper against her skin. She should head to the lighthouse. It was almost time for the daily check anyway, but as she turned toward the familiar tower, movement flickered in her peripheral vision. This time, she was sure she saw a figure, tall and dark, disappearing behind an oak tree. The lighthouse had always been more than just a job to the Blacksmiths. Her great-great-grandfather had been the first keeper back when the light still burned with oil and needed constant tending. The stories had passed down through generations, tales of storms weathered, ships guided safely home, and mysteries that seemed to cling to the tower like morning mist. Her father's voice echoed in her memory. "A keeper's duty isn't just to the light, Allie, it's to all the secrets it protects." She always thought that was just another of Dad's dramatic sayings, like when he claimed Cooper's old tractor had a personality, or that Mrs. Gecko's pizza recipe was blessed by ancient Italian angels. But now, watching the shadow play at the edge of her world, those words carried a different weight. The lighthouse beckoned. Its windows reflected the sunrise like flames. Inside, she knew exactly what she'd find. A logbook waiting for her morning entry, a familiar hum of the backup generators, the spiral staircase leading to the gallery deck. Normal, routine, safe. But that shadow. She pulled her phone from her pocket, thumb hovering over her messages. Cooper would already be up, probably tinkering with the ancient tractor in his garage before heading to the mechanic shop. Jasper, too. He usually read on his porch at dawn, squeezing in some chapters before his online classes. The morning breeze carried a sound, like laughter, but not quite. It drifted from the tree line, mixing with the rustling leaves until Allie couldn't tell if she had heard it at all, really. Muffin whined, looking between Allie and the trees, tail low, but not tucked. Whatever or whoever was out there, it hadn't spooked her loyal companion enough to run. That had to mean something, right? The responsible thing would be to check the lighthouse first, document any disturbances just like Dad had taught her. But that shadow was moving away, and with it might go answers to questions Allie hadn't even thought to ask. She looked down at Muffin, then at her phone, and then at the waiting lighthouse. Time to choose. Should Allie follow the shadow into the tree line with Muffin? If it's the trespasser, she needs to know. Besides, what's the worst that could happen with a protective dog by her side? If you want the story to go in this direction, comment tree. The second option is head to the lighthouse first. Check for any signs of disturbance. Maybe call Cooper and Jasper for backup. The shadow can wait. The keeper's duty comes first. If you think the story should go in this direction, comment lighthouse. So if you want her to follow the shadowy figure, comment tree. If you want her to do her lighthouse check, comment lighthouse. And make sure you follow me so you don't miss a chapter. Thank you. See you next time.